Just coming to the front of your mat, standing in mountain pose, Tadasana, grounding into the feet, slight bend in the knees, and we're going to raise those arms up above the sky, strong back bend coming into goalpost arms, lengthening, and then bending forward from the hips, taking the hands either side of the feet, coming onto the tips of the fingers, placing those hands down and coming into high lunge. Extending the left hand up to the sky. So really lengthening with those fingertips, not collapsing into the bottom hand. Really lengthening, taking the hand down, and then we're going to come back into plank pose. So we're going to hold this plank, shoulders down, slight bend in the elbows, pulling in at the navel, engaging that Uddiyana Bandha, the root lock. And remember to breathe, ladies, as we come up into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog, and then over into downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So do not be scared to walk the doggy. Please bend your knees, take the shoulders back and down away from the ears, and bounce. I love you to move within these postures. You don't have to be completely still. Play with the postures until they feel comfortable. Keep moving if you have to keep moving. That's absolutely fine. Release the neck. Bend the knees. Those heels do not have to be on the ground. Enjoy the posture. And then we're going to take the left foot forward between the hands. You can walk or step that up. And again, bounce in that high lunge. So placing the left hand down, we extend the right hand up to the sky, looking at the fingertips, lengthening through those fingertips, not collapsing into the posture. So keeping that back knee off the ground. Take it down if you have to. Back to standing forward fold on to the fingertips, bending forward, and then straight back up into raised Tadasana. From Tadasana, we're going to come into wide leg posture. We're going to take the front foot to 90 degrees and the back foot to 45. We're going to take that front knee just above the ankle and we're going to raise those hands up towards the sky into Warrior 1 or Virabhadrasana 1, lengthening through the tips of the fingers, shoulders back and down away from the ears. And again, make sure you're not collapsing into the posture, but feel free to bounce, lengthening that top hand, those fingertips away from the body, and sliding the left hand down the leg. Try not to rest on the knee, the calf or the thigh is fine, and slightly move, just bouncing gently until you find a comfortable position. Now we're going to come up into Warrior 2 or Virabhadrasana 2. So the arms will be parallel with your mat, knee above the ankle, lengthening through the top of the head. And remember to breathe. All of these postures are embracing that full moon energy, opening that chest, opening the heart, ready for receiving. Keeping the arms up, we're going to change over to the opposite side, take those hands above the head, and we move back into Virabhadrasana or Warrior 1. Lengthening through the tips of the fingers, always opening, receiving, lengthening. Knee bending just above the ankle, lengthening through those fingers. Moving into a comfortable place. Keep moving, it's okay. Taking that right hand back, sliding down the right leg towards the calf, thigh, lengthening through the tips of the fingers. Remember to breathe. Inhale, following exhale, breathing in and out through the nose. Arms parallel to the mat, knee above the ankle, lengthening through the top of the head, stretching in opposite directions with those fingertips, lengthening through the arms, Warrior 2. Inhale, exhale, bouncing that knee, finding a place of comfort and opening for you. So gently walking those feet in slightly, shoulders back and down, back bend into forward bend. And we're going to walk the feet out again if it's comfortable to do so. Toes pointing slightly in. We can have those hands on the mat, elbows bent. And we're just going to rock backwards and forwards again, releasing the length of the spine. That lumbar spine is going to love this. This is wide leg Dolasana or pendulum pose. We can cross the arms and swing backwards and forwards, or if we need the stability, placing the hands on the mat is absolutely fine. We can use the forearms here as well, just resting into that wide leg forward bend. Gorgeous opening bend. So placing that left hand one space in and taking the right hand up to the sky, lengthening through the tips of the fingers, we look up towards that thumb. So making sure we don't collapse into the left hand, raising through that right hand, stretching those fingertips up to the sky, opening, receiving. Remember to breathe, bringing that hand back down and extending through the opposite hand, stretching into those fingertips, looking up towards the thumbs, not collapsing into the bottom arm. Breathing, releasing, being open. With each exhale, you can turn a little more. You can step or walk those feet in, coming into a forward bend, a little bounce there, and then back up into mountain pose Tadasana, raising those hands above the head, hands to the hips, and we're going to come into nice back bend here. Lots of back bending. Welcomes the full moon energy. Shoulders back and down, really opening the heart and chest for breathing. Remember to breathe. Nice deep inhale and exhale. Pushing those hips forward. Now we can clasp the hands behind the back and pushing that fist upwards towards the sky as we look up. Really feeling that opening around the shoulders and the chest area. Breathing in and out through the nose. Inhale, following, exhale. We're going to take the hands to the hips and we're going to go further into a back bend before we come forward. Fingertips to the mat, palms to the mat. Again, bouncing into that forward bend, being aware how that lumbar spine feels, thoracic spine. It's all opening up, getting warmer, more relaxed, ready for receiving. Walking those hands forward, taking the feet back and coming back to plank position. We're going to hold this. Pull the navel back to the spine, Uddiyana Bandha, navel lock. Remember to breathe in plank position. Not collapsing into those hands. Looking towards the tip of the nose. And from here, we're going to scoot over. We're going to lengthen through the right fingers up into side plank here. Not allowing the body, the hips, the hand to collapse, pulling through the fingertips, raising through the hips, and then back to plank position. That wasn't so hard. Engaging Uddiyana Bandha, taking the navel back to the spine, and then keeping that hold, we're going to turn over to the other side, lengthening through the left fingertips, not collapsing into the lower arm, raising through the hips, raising through the side body and the tips of the fingers before we come back into upward facing dog. Now we're going to hold this for a few seconds. Keep the thighs off the mat if you can, looking up towards the third eye. If it's too strong, just drop the thighs down before we roll over into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Again, we're going to play with that doggy, walking the dog side to side, shaking the sit bones, releasing the coccyx, and then flipping that right foot over and coming into Wild Thing if this is available. If it's not, you can just stay in down dog or you can go into some cat curls. This is a fantastic heart-opening posture. We're welcoming this high energy time. Back to down dog. Moving in down dog, releasing the length of the spine, enjoying that release, enjoying the gentle movement, and taking the left foot over, followed by the left arm, stretching through the fingertips, really opening up that front body, embracing everything that is to come. Taking the left hand down, back into down dog, gentle bouncing in down dog, just moving those knees. Walk the doggy. You do not have to stay still. Enjoy your down dog. Release the neck side to side. And from here, we come down onto our knees, and then we're going to flip over onto our back and come into bridge pose. So feet should be underneath the knees. We're going to take those hips up towards the sky, walk the shoulders in, palms facing down on the mat. We can clasp the hands behind the back, giving us that extra push in the hips. Looking towards the tip of the nose, pulling up with the hips and the groin. Really enjoying this opening of the front body, the stretching, clenching the buttocks, engaging that Uddiyana Bandha, the Mula Bandha, taking the buttocks back down. And now we're going to take our knees into our chest and our forehead towards our knees. World egg pose. And we're just going to rock forwards and backwards and side to side. Just releasing the spine, enjoying before we relax into Savasana cork pose. Palms facing up, toes pointing out. Returning to normal breathing and remain here as long as is comfortable, as long as you want. Namaste.